Peggy. Yes, please come in. I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Would you like a cup of tea or a cup of
No,
coffee?
thank you.
No worries. How are you today?
I'm feeling a bit nervous. I've never been to a counsellor before.
Yeah. It's understandable to feel nervous or uncomfortable about counselling, but just understand that I'm here with you every step of the way. Before we begin, I'd like to talk to you about privacy and confidentiality. So, basically, what that means is that everything we talk about during our sessions is just between us, and I won't share anything with anyone unless I have your permission. When we talk about privacy, we're talking about making sure that our conversations take place in a private setting where nobody else can hear what we're saying. It also means that any notes or records I keep will be kept in a secure location where no one else can see them. So like in the locked filing cabinet and in my computer that only I have access to, and there's passwords that only I have the passwords to. Confidentiality, on the other hand, means that I won't disclose anything you tell me during our sessions to anyone without your permission unless there are very limited circumstances where I'm required to do so by law. For example, if you tell me that you're in immediate danger of harming yourself or someone else, or if I'm ordered to by the court to release information, then I may need to take action to ensure your safety and the safeties of others. Confidentiality is really important to me as a counsellor, and I take it very seriously. However, there are some situations where I may need to breach confidentiality in order to keep you or others safe. For example, if you disclose a child is being abused or neglected, and if you express intent to harm yourself or others, like I mentioned before, then I may need to take action to ensure everyone's safety. So everything we talk about during our sessions is confidential, and I will do everything in my power to maintain your privacy. If there are ever any concerns or questions about privacy or confidentiality, please don't hesitate to bring them up so that we can discuss and address them together. Do you have any questions about privacy and confidentiality?
No, yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I explained that well?
You did.
Okay, great. Great. Now that we've talked about privacy and confidentiality, can you tell me a bit about what brings you here today?
I've been feeling really down lately. My daughter moved out of home and a few months ago, and I've been feeling really lonely. I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm sorry to hear that you've been feeling down. It sounds like you're struggling with recent changes in your life since your daughter moved out and feeling a sense of loneliness. I can understand how challenging that must be for you.
Yeah, it's been really hard. I feel I don't have anyone to talk to, and I'm not used to being alone. I'm just not sure what to do with myself all the time.
That sounds really difficult. It makes sense that you're feeling this way given the changes in your life. It's okay to feel lonely and to struggle with finding new ways to fill your time. I'd like to explain to you a bit about how I work. So I'm a solution-focused therapist. So this means that I will work with you to focus on your goals instead of dwelling on problems in the past. So we're going to focus more on the future and how we can get you into a happier place. So to start, I'd like to ask you the miracle question. I want you to picture yourself in the future where you have no problems, no troubles, and everything's worked out for the best. What would that look like?
Well, I guess I would feel better and have new ways to be happy on my own. I would have strategies to cope with my feelings of loneliness, and I have purpose in my life again. And my daughter would visit on a regular basis, maybe.
That's a great starting point. Let's explore what that would look like. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you're absolutely miserable, and 10 being you're ecstatically happy and everything's perfect in your life, where would you say you are on that scale?
I'd say I'm at 2. I really miss my daughter at the moment, and I feel like I don't have a purpose anymore. What's the point?
Yeah, that's understandable. You're pretty low on the scale. You're not feeling great.
No.
So let's try and get you to move up on that scale. Okay, so now that we have a better understanding of what you're going through, I want to talk to you about goal setting. By setting goals, we can work together to create a plan that will help you feel more fulfilled and less lonely. Goals can be big or small, short-term, long-term, and they can be related to any aspect of your life. And we can change this throughout the sessions if they're not working, so we can come back and address it and say next week you can tell me how you're going and how it went, and if it's not going well then we'll
Next
change
week?
it. Yep, next week. I'll see you again next week because I want to see how you're going.
Cool.
So what kind of goals do you think would be helpful for you to set right now? What would need to happen to get you from a 2 to say a 5? Because we know we can't get you up to a 10 immediately, so we're going to get you up to a 5 to begin with.
I think I could find something else to focus on, like a new hobby or volunteering somewhere. That might help me feel more fulfilled, I suppose.
That's a great idea. What steps could you take to make that happen?
Something that brought me a lot of joy was my daughter and I shared a hobby of sailing, but unfortunately I don't have a boat anymore, and no longer do that together.
That's a lovely memory to hold on to.
It was.
That would have been fun.
It was great.
Have you considered looking into local sailing clubs or organisations that offer opportunities for disabled individuals to go sailing? One organisation that comes to my mind is Belmont 16-footers. They offer volunteer opportunities for people to help disabled individuals to go sailing. You and your daughter could potentially volunteer there together. It could be a great way for you to reconnect with something that brings you both joy. And that could also make regular visits.
Wow, I never knew anything like that existed. Thank you for suggesting that. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I can help you research their contact details. We can also set a goal for you to make contact with them by the end of the week. How does that sound?
That sounds really good.
Wonderful. What other goals do you think would be helpful for you to set right now?
I'm not sure. I guess I just want to feel less lonely and depressed when I'm at home alone. I think I have depression. I think I need medication. I hate to say it. You know, not feeling good.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with me. Sometimes it's really hard to say something like that, and thank you for sharing that with me.
I hate telling people that.
It's okay, but thank you. It's good. And it's understandable. Feeling lonely and depressed can be very challenging to cope with on your own. I want you to know that although I'm here to guide and support you, it may be helpful to see a licensed mental health professional for more specialised treatment, including medication management and diagnosis for mental health conditions like depression. As a solution-focused counsellor, my role is to help you explore your thoughts and feelings and to develop strategies to achieve your goals. However, I am not authorised to prescribe medication and diagnose mental health conditions. But if you're interested, I can provide you a referral and a list of therapists or mental health services in your area, if you like. It could be a great step towards feeling better and more in control of your emotions. How does that sound?
That would be really helpful. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm glad I could still help you there. So I will provide you with a list of services and I will type up a referral at the end of the session.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No worries. So, but in the meantime, I can help you in a different way.
Okay.
So we could work together to develop coping strategies for when feelings of loneliness arise. So this might include engaging in self-care practices like exercise, meditation or journaling, or finding ways to distract yourself with activities or projects that you enjoy. Engaging in creative activities like painting, colouring, diamond art, or playing music can be a great way to distract yourself from feelings of loneliness and channel your emotions in a positive way. What do you think could be helpful?
Those ideas are great, but I have been focusing myself on TV shows and movies, but only helps for a little while. Maybe I could go out after this and buy some colouring books and diamond art. Paint by numbers, you said, as well?
Yeah.
And the journal, I could walk to the beach on a regular basis.
That sounds great. And it sounds like you've been trying to cope with your feelings of loneliness by watching TV and watching movies, but it hasn't been working. And that's, you know, that's all understandable because it is distracting, but only for a certain amount of time. And then all the feelings come back as soon as the TV show's over. Yeah. It's great to hear that you're willing to try out these coping strategies. These activities can distract you from feelings of loneliness while also providing a more long-lasting sense of fulfillment. Let's explore these ideas further and see how they can be integrated into your daily routine. How often do you think you can commit to walking to the beach, and what time of the day would work best for you?
I think I could walk to the beach each morning.
Yep. That's a great start. Walking to the beach can be a great way to clear your mind and get some exercise. How about the colouring in books and diamond art and the paint by numbers? Do you have any particular designs or themes you like?
I haven't really thought about it. I like animals and nature scenes.
That's great. Nature scenes and animals are very calming and relaxing to colour or paint. How much time do you think you can set aside for these activities each week or day?
Possibly an hour every night after dinner.
Well, that's pretty good. So every day after dinner?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. That's a good plan. How about I get this plan typed up and schedule our next session?
Sounds great.
Cool.
See you in a week.
Yeah, so we'll schedule another session for Wednesday next week?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
I'll get that sorted right now. Okay, so here are the goals that we've set for today to work on. And I have a copy as well.
Hey, you typed that up real fast.
Here are the goals we set for today to work on. You have your regular walks to the beach in the morning, doing creative activities after dinner such as colouring, painting by numbers or diamond art, and you have the contact details to Belmont 16 footers that you need to contact by the end of the week to inquire about volunteering to help with the disabled sale. Does this all sound okay to you?
Yes, it's starting to sound more exciting and less depressing already.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you might be now getting excited about the future.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Sounds like we're making great progress already. This is a referral as well,
Okay, thank you.
so that you can see someone about diagnosis for depression and medication if needed. And I've also attached a list of therapists or mental health services in your area. So the referral says, I'm going to read this with you so you're okay with the information and it's all correct. And if it's not correct, please let me know. Okay, so it says, Dear mental health care provider / therapist, whichever one you choose, I am writing to refer my client Peggy, a 50-year-old woman who has been experiencing symptoms of depression for the past few months. During our session, she has shared with me that she is struggling with feelings of sadness and loneliness. Peggy would like to explore her symptoms in depth to see if she is suffering from clinical depression. However, as a counsellor, I am not qualified to make formal diagnosis. Therefore, I would like to refer her to you for an evaluation for possible treatment. Peggy believes that medication could be a helpful tool for her recovery. However, I also understand that it's important for her to receive a proper diagnosis before starting any treatment. I would appreciate it if you can conduct a thorough evaluation to determine if she meets the criteria for depression and whether medication would be an appropriate course of action. I have provided Peggy with your contact information and have encouraged her to reach out to schedule an appointment with you as soon as possible. Please feel free to contact me if you have any concerns or questions about her case. Thank you for your time and attention in this matter. Sincerely, Stephanie Davies. How does that all sound? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm happy for you to share the information with them.
Okay, great. So I can release the information with your
No
consent?
worries at all.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for that. I'll make sure I store that in my locked filing cabinet. And that's yours. So it's important to remember that setting goals and making changes takes time and effort, but I believe that with your determination and willingness to try new things, you can improve your situation. I look forward to supporting you in this journey. How do you feel about our session today?
I feel hopeful. It was nice to talk about my feelings and have someone listen to me for a change. You've made me excited about my future again. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that our session was helpful. I encourage you to take some time to reflect on what we've discussed today and start exploring some of the ideas we've talked about. I look forward to seeing you in our next session to see the progress that you're making.
Thank you. So I'll see you in a week.
Yes, I'll see you Wednesday next week at
Same
5
time?
o'clock. Yeah, we'll see you then.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Stephanie.
great day. It was
See you
lovely to meet you.
See you in a week. Sorry, Dobby.